Hello, welcome to True News Nexus. This report comes from conservative.dailypost.com. Washington becomes first sanctuary state as governor signs order to harbor any illegals. By Sam Di Gangi. While the notion of states' rights is certainly something that needs to be talked about more, but also more respect given to, like any good thing, it can be taken too far. States should be deciding things like marijuana laws, abortion law, and health care because those things are not covered in the Constitution. Whenever there is an issue that is not specifically addressed within the great document, it is to be a states' rights issue. One of the few things that states are not to do is try and override anything that is laid out in the Constitution, since those are not states' rights issues. This very simple and factual line of reasoning is terribly lost on Washington State Governor, Democrat Jay Inslee. This governor, who should be arrested and sent to prison for obstruction and for endangering the American people, has just signed an illegal executive order forbidding law enforcement agencies from detaining illegal immigrants. This is nothing short of sedition and should be looked at as such, then tried in a court of law as such. If one person gets harmed by even one of the illegal aliens in Washington, Inslee should see the inside of a prison cell as a co-conspirator and enabler, too. His order also forbids state agencies from doing their jobs by preventing agencies from the needed action of stopping benefits, assistance, and service to those who have callously broken our migration laws. Inslee is literally rewarding illegal activity with aid and assistance in abject defiance of the law. He is also hampering efforts from those agencies from using state resources, which are supposed to be used for just that when collected from workers, thus making another crime, the progress needed to create or enforce a registry of citizens on the basis of religious affiliation. With the latter action, it seems that not only should an act of unneeded violence break out by illegal immigrants, but should an act of terror happen from anyone that the federal government bars from being here and who is now housed illegally by Inslee should also be taken into account. He just may be harboring a terrorist or those suspected of terror by the government, which would be why they were banned. How long is the sentence for aiding a terrorist? Also, as if welcoming rapes, burglaries, murders, and robberies, this incompetent governor has also banned the Washington State Patrol and the State Department of Corrections from detaining anyone based on legal status, even though legal status and the law regarding it is a federal matter. All of this means that everything Inslee is doing is a federal offense and he is harming the nation greatly in the process, not to mention the harm being done to his own state. This executive order makes clear that Washington will not be a willing participant in promoting or carrying out mean-spirited policies that break up families and compromise our national security and, importantly, our community safety, said Inslee in a statement that seems alien to any facts at hand. The families would not be broken up if they had applied legally to enter the nation. As such, the families need not be broken up if they are deported as one unit, which may sound harsh, but they are free to apply for re-entry, legally this time. There must not be a Merriam-Webster dictionary in the governor's mansion, since words like compromise and national security are greatly misused by this Washington governor. There is no way that enforcing the law on migration so that violent criminals and terrorists are not allowed to remain in the United States hurts security, it only makes national security more secure. Inslee, if arrested as he deserves to be, won't be looking at life totally alone in the cold prison cell, since the Democratic, surprised, anyone, governor of Connecticut, Daniel Malloy, has also ordered agencies in his state to refuse detainer requests from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, according to The Hill. This means that on both coasts America has elected officials who are willfully breaking the law and encouraging the violent, criminal element to bolt to those areas as a safe haven. It is nothing short of an obvious and certain prediction that crime in those areas will reach Mars long before mankind does if something is not done very quickly. There will likely be a few more leaders who decide to test President Donald Trump, and in doing so will likely lose a fortune in federal aid. Trump actually should immediately shut off all federal aid to both states until the police can be assembled to arrest both rotten governors and have them tried for any number of crimes. There is an oath of office that is taken when one takes over the governorship of a state, and that is not something that can be ignored on a whim or in spite of a sitting president. It is not likely that Trump will stand by while this happens, nor should he. After all of the violence that America has seen at the hands of illegals, it is very shocking to see such opposition to Trump's fair-minded practices and calls for legal precedent. More than that, are these so-called leaders blind to the fact that illegal migration, even if peaceful, is destroying the job market in the United States of America? America has faced a 1-2 punch in that the US is not only hit with out-of-control outsourcing, but those companies that are still here are hiring illegals, bring the pay of everyone down. The people of Washington and Connecticut are not likely to soon forget this dreadful act of sedition and betrayal by these men as they break the law in mansions paid for by the taxpayers who are seeing their lifestyles destroyed by such actions. How many people rot in federal prisons for breaking federal crimes while these two lawbreakers flaunt their law-breaking for all of the nation to behold? If this exists and is not punished, while we are opening the borders, why don't we unleash everyone from the federal prisons, too? At that point, what difference would it make? To read the rest of the report, go to www.conservativedailypost.com. If you enjoyed this story and would like to keep up to date with the latest news, make sure you like, subscribe and share with your friends. For the True News Nexus Network, thank you.